How is it going, everybody? It is Sean, or the Armchair Coach, and welcome to Season 5 and Episode 11 of UTSA Dynasty. Last season, we were on the precipice, on the brink, you might say, of greatness, as we came very close to a national championship appearance. However, we ran up against the buzzsaw that was the Oklahoma Sooners. So this season, our goal is the national championship, as it should be, right? We have had 4 seasons to build this program from the ground up. The recruitment trail has been tedious at best, trying at times, and fucking awful at its worst. Every single off-season stream has featured a signature Armchair Coach crash out. I might try to cut up some of my VODs, actually, and insert some of those clips after too. So, how many, dude, okay, this is where I'm going to crash out, because this is the second, this is the third, and this is the 4th defensive tackle we can't bring in, because they just, we can't bring them in. I don't understand what is so wrong about our team that we can't bring in anybody. We were just in the college football quarterfinal, and now we are apparently of no interest to any other prospect. There's not a single 3-star defensive tackle. Doing wrong. Like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I would love to know what it is. What I'm doing so fucking wrong that I can't land a single 3-star defensive tackle. This is the second year in a row where we have no defensive tackles on the roster because I can't recruit any of them. They don't want to come here. So I'm going to be stuck, bringing in one of these fucking dog shit 2-stars because we have no other Every year it's the same shit. It is the same shit every year where I can't get like one thing. I can't get one thing. And that one thing is the defensive tackle this year. And it's last year too. I mean, fuck me, dude. But yeah, it has been trying in the offseason to bring talent in. However, we continue to find gems, I think, whether it's a 4-star guy, a 3-star guy, or how about this 5-star transfer Chad Draghi here. I think that's how you pronounce that last name. But he is an elusive bruiser that we are paying. Don't worry about the amount that we're paying him, actually. And we're also going to ignore the amount that Jarek Boyman's making as our RB6. Just ignore it. Just ignore all of the money, right? We still have 2,000 NIL because no one else wants to fuck. That's the problem. That's been the problem. We have gone after a multitude of really talented 4-star prospects in the high school recruitment, in the transfer portal, and it hasn't mattered a single bit. No one's been interested. You can see as we scroll through the roster, we are still in very good shape overall, I would say. We have more than enough talent, as Kevin Yeast ended up leaving us for the draft, which was very disappointing. We ended up trying to give him a raise to get him to stay, and it didn't matter. He still ended up leaving. It stinks, but life happens. We still have a decent starter there in Enrico Migueli that can fill in that hole for us, you know. Anyway, Julius Gums here is not developing much, and neither did Enrique Warrior. Our edge game is God damn it, no, already we're getting suspect. But our edge rush is not going to be very, very strong this year. And it hasn't been really for 4 years. We just really haven't found the talent to make a real push up front. Julius Gums has probably been as close as we've come, and he only had Impact Dev, and we've only had him for 2 years. So unfortunately, there's not much development to be had there. Dante Gibbs might be our best opportunity here, but he still needs some time to grow. And then defensive tackle-wise, oh, man. Yeah, it'll already be shown in the clip, but defensive tackles have been a nightmare for us. We have lost out on plenty in the high school recruits. In the transfer portal, we lost another, 2 that we went after. It's just been anything but easy to bring a defensive tackle here. I guess we're fat-shaming or whatever. That doesn't make sense, but Kerry Harms here with his elite dev steps in here as our starting Sam linebacker, and he might be a incredible pass rusher because we really dumped dumped his points into his pass rushing stats. As you can see, or I guess not because I flicked over, he's got like 89 pass rushing like development area, so he can really get to the quarterback. So we'll see who our edge rushers actually are between like him or our actual edge rushers. Then at Mike linebacker, it's a little bit of a log jam in here, you could say. We have quite a few talented guys, but I think there's two here who definitely separate themselves from the pack in Devon Ruggs and Demetrius Kamara. They're both in that 80 overall range. They're young and developable, and they have great speed. So that will do very well in coverage. And then everyone else here, aside from Malachi Character's definitely just here for the depth. Akeem Tam can definitely develop into something with another year. Carson Wise was necessary but upgradable piece for us, unfortunately, and we thank him for his services, and he will graduate as a valued member of the bench. And Paul Petrowski here just needs more development time. I also think he only has normal dev, so slow going there. Ty Harris with impact dev from our high school class, I think has plenty of opportunity to grow. He is a little bit slow to start, but he's also got impact dev, so we can dump some points into his speed early on in his development, and that will help out. And then Russell Weldon, yeah, he's here. And then Tony Davis, also another player that we are really happy to develop here. He's got star dev, over 80 overall as a sophomore, and plenty of room still to grow here as you look at his caps. Can't really get much better as a pass rusher, or really in any area that we would want him to get better in, really. I mean, oh my God. I mean, we've talked multiple times about how we like to use these outside linebackers, and as you can see, both of the stat blocks that we really want to develop for him already maxed out. Can't get them any higher yet. So behind him, we're really looking to find some guys here, maybe like Sam Tuafea, but once again, his caps are just really low in the areas we want to develop them in, so it's just very bleak on that side of the ball. And then our cornerback room is actually looking pretty promising. Paul Howard, our junior redshirt guy here, who's still slow as a bag of, holy cow, man. 86 speed and you're playing cornerback? How? The best equivalent I could think of is like a 38-year-old Darrelle Revis running out there in college, no less. So Paul Howard here, slow as a bag of dirt, but, can cover the whole field apparently. I don't know. He's the walking contradiction. That's what we'll call him. And then Cornell Bowie behind him here definitely has a little bit better of an athletic profile. However, all of these guys can just cut on a dime. If you look at their change of direction, 99, 99, 99, 96, 99. We are freak athletes out there. Honestly, you would think that we should be doing some coordinated ballet with how agile and, change of direction really doesn't make sense for that. But, all of these guys are really good at that, and I think that's valuable for cornerbacks. So we'll take it. And then in the free safety room, there's definitely a disparity of money being made here with Brendan Harris. We'll restrict salary discussions in the free safety room, I think. And then at strong safety, it's just, it's a kind of a slog of decent talent. None of these guys really are impressive to me. Our kicker and punter, though, those guys are impressive. 98 kick power, 96 kick power, 95 accuracy from Salisi Higgins. What a star from that guy. The one thing we will say about recruiting before we even get into looking at the board is we're definitely going to try to prioritize finding a kicker and punter this year so we can bring them in and let them redshirt for a year. I always find that's just nice to have for a specialist just to get them at their absolute peak by the time they're seniors. A little weird thing I do. And for how easy it should be to get a kicker or punter, it should be no big deal. So what we're going to do now is I will set up red shirts because I haven't looked at that yet. And then we will hop into the recruiting portal. We are making an update here to our staff as well. Before we get too deep, we're going to go ahead and finally make that move up to the silver tier. The silver tier recruiting coordinator. It is a 500-point investment, but I think that is going to be a worthwhile 500-point investment for us in the long run. And I still think we're going to be able to find the talent we want to bring in with 1,600 NIL. Plus, we're also looking at NIL being returned to us for our graduating seniors as well. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in here to the prospect list. So we have 660 hours. I think that's with the new bonus. And looking at our team needs, they are hefty. I feel like they are hefty every year. I feel like this screen could just not change, and it would probably still feel the same for me, as we will probably need to add like a little bit of everything, especially on defense, it's looking like. I'm going to get into the process of adding guys here, and then once I have them all on the board, we will begin recruiting them together. We haven't added any specialists here yet, but we already have 16 players on our board. The priority is definitely going to be these 16. If we sort here by national rank, you will see we have 2 5-stars of the same position here. Not going to be recruiting both of them, obviously. That'd be a little bit ridiculous. It's already a little ridiculous that we're even attempting this. But I said to myself, am I crazy? The answer was yes. Am I willing to do something stupid? The answer is also yes. And this is the stupid thing we do. We go after a 5-star quarterback. We have the talent in our QB room. That we can do this, and it is not devastating if it doesn't work out. Plus, we can always pivot midway if we see things not going our way. But can you imagine the turnaround it would be to pick up a 5-star quarterback after the struggles we've had in recruiting in general? I think we have more than enough points to be able to go ahead and scout everybody that we have on our board here. Jaron Folk here, a pocket passer, definitely living up to it in the speed department, and not really elite throw power. You would want more, you would think, out of a 5-star as far as throw power is concerned, especially for a pocket passer. Now, how about Ian Longa? I have been hearing nothing but great things about this backfield creator archetype, and he really doesn't look that bad. I mean, he's a little bit slower, but he's got decent enough throw power, and his accuracies are fantastic to begin with. So I think we go after Ian Longa here, and that'll be very interesting to see what happens with that, as we will head over here to John Wilcox. And he is a 4-star, by the way. I skipped right into scouting him. But yes, we added a 4-star running back here in John Wilcox. Has interest in us, I believe. Maybe not. No, he didn't have interest. But we put him on here because he's got a decent pipeline for us. And we kind of want another east-west playmaker. We have a few elusive bruisers at this point. So if we can win him in recruitment, that would be awesome. No receivers this year, obviously, because we don't need one. We might add one later. And then at the tight end department, still definitely need some more talent here as we find another gem in Alani Lambo here. Definitely looks like a guy who would be named Alani, right? The name to like race generation needs some work. I mean, honestly, the race generation needs some work in general. I mean, look, I'm a white dude, okay? I feel like that's pretty obvious, right? I'm a dude playing video games, sports video games, doing rebuilds in YouTube videos. That's like the white person special, right? I can be honest with you when I say that there are not many white cornerbacks and receivers, and especially not a lot of them who are 5-star prospects. Okay, let's just be honest with ourselves here and recognize that the white race is not dominating the sports world, okay? I think that's a perfectly fair thing to admit here in current year and beyond. Let's ground ourselves here. We'll move past that little blip here as we get to the offensive lineman, and we have a 4-star and a 3-star. We're not gonna scout Alex Sun yet. We'll go after Clifton Ruggs here first, and then if we have points left over, we will see what the other tackle is looking like. He's got great size for a 3-star prospect, and he's in a good pipeline, so that's kind of like the best of both worlds situation. Anthony Schweitzer here has us first on his board. Kind of just a win-win, no NIL cost. He's not a bust, and we can definitely work with his stats here, as Antonio Grubb will be unfortunately ousted from the board as he is a bust, and we do not do any busting around here. Tim Yang is up next here, 3-star edge prospect, and he is a decent looking player as well. Maybe a little bit slower, but he's a power rusher, so his strength kind of makes up for that in a way. Now, let's focus on our 4-star guys here. We added a Frederick Phillip here. He was a guy who had us in his top 10, and he's in a great pipeline for us, and he's a gem. We really do need help in that defensive backfield, in the safety room especially the strong safety room, and more especially than the especially that I had just said. As we look here at, I think we don't have any other, actually we do. We have one more here. Brian Hooks is the last 4-star we've added, and he is from El Paso, so once again, a great pipeline, great size. Pure power archetype isn't my favorite. He's got some great strength, so we just have to bring up his pass rushing and run stopping ability to match the physical specimen that he is to begin with. With that being said, we've now looked at all of the 4-stars we've brought in, so we can now look at some of the 3-stars as well. I do want to go ahead and replace the center prospect that we had on the board first, so I will do that and be right back. All right, so we added John Homer to the board here. Same amount of NIL, same pipeline, but he is not a bust, so we'll happily keep him along on the recruiting trail here. And then everybody else, we do kind of, I mean, we're going to go ahead and let Alex Sun go, but I do still want to see if maybe it's worth being stupid and keeping him on the board as well. I mean, if he's a gem, why not, right? We want that kind of talent. Gem talent at 3-star, 4-star, 5-star is gem talent. So we're going to keep looking at these guys here. Everyone's looking to be pretty solid. Xavier Short is a little bit slower than I would like to see my lurker linebacker be, but that's okay. Javonte Volk, an outside linebacker here. He's got some good speed for an outside linebacker. Obviously, we are looking to develop him as a pass rusher, so we'll see how he develops in that area. Sean Costanzo, 86 speed. You're just like my friend Paul Howard. You guys should have a slow track meet and see who can finish slower. I'll see you guys at the finish line next week. And Evan Nitschke here is up next. 88 speed, 87 acceleration. Oy, don't let this guy... How are you a coverage specialist and you're dog shit at coverage? Okay. Well, I mean, he's not a bust, so I guess we can work with that. And then that is everybody. Still have 180 points left over. So let's take a look here at Alex Sun. Are you a gem? You are actually a bust. Oh, well, you can bust your ass on out of here there, mister. As we are 14 prospects deep now. And I think we can, like I said, it shouldn't be too hard for us to find a specialist that we can bring in and go ahead and redshirt. Do I get really ballsy and just go after the top guy? I don't want to, I mean, power archetype is what we like. Go after the #1 kicker and punter, really establish ourselves as a powerhouse. You know that UTSA isn't to be messed with if their kicker and punter are elite. That's the mark of a great squad. If your best player is a kicker or a punter, that's where it's at. As we look here at our kicker and punter, Greg Kearns is a gem, so that's definitely workable for us. And Adrian Valdez has some decent stats to start as a freshman, so we'll make that work as well. And that is everybody. So we'll be rolling into this season 16 recruits on our board. That is a lot. It's going to be a lot to manage, but that's why we end up buying a better recruiting coordinator, so we have more hours to spend when it really is necessary. Let's go ahead and check out our schedule. I'm really excited to see what we've got. We've got San Jose State, Texas State, and then, oh boy. How many times can I play Texas in one series? This is the third. And you know what? How ironic would it be if we end up facing Texas at some point in the college football playoff? However, Texas really struggled last year. They only finished 7-6, and I think we can make do with that, as we also have an away game against Nebraska. So, holy jittle. What are we doing? What are we doing? Texas and Nebraska on our schedule in one season. Well, that's the way life goes. Although I would really ideally like one of these to be a home game, especially this one against Nebraska. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, if it's gonna be us having to play in that week, I want it to be at home. So we're going to make that a home game so we can maybe have some recruits in attendance while we lose. That's definitely a great idea, right? And now we will roll into this season. Unfortunately, we are still not at the point where I can bestow the #1 jersey upon our best players, but Prince Hall is our best player on offense, and It looks like Paul Howard is actually our best player on defense, so theoretically, I could give him the number 1 jersey, but it feels wrong to do that in a season where I can't give it to both players. So we're still going to wait on that tradition until, I guess, next season. Hopefully, when next season comes around, we'll be a national championship squad and in a new conference. I haven't really said it much, but our goal is to leave the American Conference this year. Our goal is obviously to win another conference title, and once we do that, I think we'll have proved that we are ready to leave the American and move up to bigger and better things in a harder conference. New 80 expectations just drop. Babe, wake up. Win a bowl game in the next 5 seasons. We can definitely do that, like, immediately. They want us to make the college football playoff this year. That's our goal as well, so I think we can definitely do that. As why is our contract so far over to the left here? I was like, when did we go? When I thought we were like 14-1 last year. Why did it say we went 9-4? But we were a little bit over to the left here, as we can see that we went 14-1 last season. And so the goal is for us to make the college football playoff, but honestly, our goal is to win the whole damn thing, right? And then they also want us to try to score 40 points in at least any game this season. So that'll be on our radar. Maybe a game or two where that's a possibility. We'll see as we set up practice for our very first week of the season. No game here, so we can really focus on our recruiting. So we're going to get our hours in shape here with 540 to spend, and I will show you what that looks, or how we divide that up here in just a minute. Really worth it to bring in that recruiting coordinator. Wallet shrunk, obviously, sending out our NIL offers to these guys. Don't worry about it, okay? 355 NIL is a totally reasonable number. And I think something we've learned throughout our experience is that these guys come in wanting a number, and then after about a year of development, they kind of realize their value a little bit more truly, and we can then bring that money down without it really becoming a nightmare for us. I'm not afraid to throw 355 NIL at you, man, if it means you're interested in coming to UTSA. We are sending everybody an offer. We can send everybody who is in that 3-star range a 25-hour-a-week deal. And Adrian Valdez and Greg Kearns are only getting 5 hours a week because they're specialists. Love you to death, guys, but you do not need that much recruitment. And then everybody in that 4-star and above range, including Ian Longa getting a send the house here, we are really going to make hard pushes for. I mean, all of these guys, theoretically, we could send the house at one of these other guys, but I don't feel like that's fully necessary. So recruiting set up, and we will see how it looks here as we move on to next week. Okay, so we are here in week 1 against San Jose State. Got practice to set up, and then we'll check in on recruiting. So here's... Yeah, I mean, could you have expected it to go like this? Probably. So Ian Longa is definitely probably not going to be considering UTSA. It was a fun idea, fun experiment, seeing if we're in that 5-starable range yet. However, everybody else here, we're not. I mean, we're honestly not really moving up for a lot of these guys. Clifton Ruggs, I think, will end up making his top here. I mean, the one thing that we can do off the bat right away is kind of play with their scholarship. That's why we send the neutral offer first. And, like, I mean, I could send him 215 to get him interested. It is hefty to offer, or I guess 205 makes him interested. Like, we could send that, but I mean, that's a 70 NIL spend just to get a small boost. Is that really worth it for a guy who's not a gem? Like, that's I think the big thing we consider when we're talking about whether or not we up the ante on any of these guys. I mean, Brian Hooks, it might be worthwhile here just to see. I mean, he's lower on that totem of, like, him, I would honestly be fine sending him like another 50 or so NIL. As long as he's in that, like, 150 range, that's still worth it to me for a 4-star prospect. So we'll up his offer just a teeny bit to give ourselves a little bit more of a chance. John Wilcox here, we didn't move up for him at all, and I think he's, once again, another guy that we can up the ante for a little bit. Yeah, he's 160, so that's, I still think, perfectly reasonable. And then Frederick Phillip here, we move up a hefty amount for. So I don't think we need to up the offer on him yet. And then everybody else here, how are we looking? We move up for our kicker. We might actually have to do some recruiting of our punter here. That's kind of crazy, but whatever. As we will look here at our other 3-star guys. So looking in good shape. I really don't want to have to up the offer on these 3-star guys if I don't have to. It looks like some of these, it might be a, if I don't, we lose kind of off. Like, we get thrust down the board right away for a lot of these guys, which makes me wonder if, like, is TCU, I mean, their pipeline is better, but, I mean, that bonus is so much bigger. It makes me wonder, is, like, are these schools sending him 85 NIL, which is upping their bonus? Like I said, I am down to clown. So I'm going to continue to experiment here and play with the NIL / our hours, and I'll kind of reconvene with you when I have like a full idea of how this works. I think what we end up doing is the old American classic, throw money at the problem for a lot of these guys. We throw more money at Martin Clavijo and Sean Costanzo. And then some of these guys, like, we can't really give... like Tim, well, we did, I think, end up, we offered him more NIL. So we offered Tim Yang, threw money at Tim Yang, the problem there. But some of these guys like Javante Volk and Anthony Schweitzer here, they're one of these 0 NIL guys. If you throw 5 at them, they're super happy about it. So with them, I think it becomes more about how much time can we invest. Because we're going up against a 5-star pipeline, and we've got a 2-star pipeline as compared to our 1. Big difference, right? But that will make a difference. So honestly, I'm going to go ahead and even up the ante here a little bit more. Throw an extra 5 at them. I'm not fucking around this year, all right? I don't want to sit here in week 12 concerned about whether I'm going to get the number 1200 guy on the board this year, all right? And the other thing we need to do and address here is a quarterback. Instead of going after a 5-star, which was perhaps ill-advised. I'm not going to hear any critique on it. You are all wrong. We are going to go to the drawing board here and find ourselves a quarterback in pipeline, maybe a decent as James Portilla. Good size. 6'5", 194 pocket passer. Talk me out of that one, as Russell Olson is also maybe a decent option here. I like the athletes at quarterback. They usually have really good athletic stats. Never mind, I lied. This guy is not athletic at all, but he's got great throw power for a dual threat. So I think we are interested in that for sure. We'll send him the neutral offer and throw 25 points on him for this week, and then we'll organize him into our board here. But that is recruiting this week. We do have points left over, but obviously we are in such a green situation as far as our point bank now with the recruiting coordinator that we actually have some in our wallet that we can just keep. Unfortunately, they don't roll over week to week. That'd be great for visits and stuff like that, but we will take having some points instead of having to really ration them the way we were. So we are a 90 overall squad. We are heading into our very first matchup of the season against San Jose State, team we have not played yet on the field. So let's see how this new team will look. Let me actually step back out here first, because there are a couple of things to note here about the depth chart before we do get into the first game this season. Emmett Longo, despite the fact that he's a little bit worse than Prince Hall, will be wide receiver 1. Why? Because I want the size on the outside. And Prince Hall will also be wide receiver 2. I want his ability on the field if it really comes down to a 2-receiver set, but I still want I want Emmett Longo on that right outside role. And then George Nijman picks up that 3rd wide receiver role, but he will not be playing the slot because, like we said, we want Prince Hall with that size and his ability to be in the slot because he can really create separation for himself as a route runner. On the defensive side of the ball, edge rusher wise, it's actually still going to be both of our edge rushers. So our pass rush is probably going to be incredibly weak this year. We are going to make sure that, wow, is Chad Draghi actually a better running back than Deuce Lawrence or a better third down back? I'm almost tempted to give Chad Draghi the majority. He's the starting fullback. Wow. I love that. And I backed out of the roster too because I'm an idiot chud. That's so dumb. We're going to make that not a thing, I think. And then, yeah, we'll give Chad Draghi the starting carries. I really love the idea of Deuce Lawrence as a starter. However, he's really just going to be so great as a change of pace back, especially when the starting pace is fast and hard as hell from Chad Draghi. He is a guy who's going to be speedy and can run through you. I'm really excited to see how he performs on the field. So we'll make sure that Deuce Lawrence ends up being the third down back here, just like he is. So that will make a little bit more sense on the field. But with that explained and us ready to go, raring to go even, let's get in here to our very first action of Season 5. Home, sweet home. It's the Alamo Dome. First game of the year. Nice to be in our home stadium for it. As the invisible fans, will they appear? Not today, it would seem, as we get ready to step out on the field against a San Jose State squad that we, of course, cannot underestimate. Can't underestimate any opponent with the way we like to fold under no pressure. And already, first moment of the game, San Jose State's driving on us. Unfortunately, I did worry going into the season that our defense was going to be the thing that caused us the most concern. Obviously have had issues with finding really talent in the front seven in any capacity. We're still going to try to make the most out of the situation we've been given here. So 2nd and 12 now after a pretty good stop there on first. They're in the shotgun. And they're going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw one out to the left side there to the receiver. Get outside or get out of bounds, and it's 3rd and 7. Interesting to see how we play with our backs up against the wall here early on in the season. Definitely not a squad you want to give up a early season touchdown to as we get into the backfield, but they're going to complete it, break a tackle, but we do come in with a big shot there and hold them short, but they will keep the offense out and go for it on 4th. Why not bring some pressure here on 4th down? Force them to be at their best in a high-pressure situation, and that's exactly why we do it. Force the turnover on downs, and we get the ball here, the opportunity to make a big first down drive. I don't know if this is the first time we've been on the field this season on offense. We're going to act like we have been, even if we haven't. Hand off to Chad Draghi. New face in a new place. He is going to hopefully carry the load like so many great running backs have done before him as he gets a carry here. And like I said, we are not doing juke moves, spin moves. We're not trying to make people miss when Chad Draghi's in the backfield. He is going through you, whether you like it or not. As we look to pass here for the first time and almost get picked off. Little bit slow there to develop the route there. Maybe not the best third down back. I thought we had switched. We'd switched it, but we're going to get a completion there short to Nazir Amos on 2nd down, and it's going to become 3rd and 5 here. Still kind of having a hard time getting the ball moving on offense there as we finally pick up a first down. We're going to look back to the run game. Haven't seen much of Deuce Lawrence yet. I mean, obviously want to keep Draghi fresh, but as long as he's content to continue getting carries here, I'll keep handing it off. He's going to pick up another big chunk of 8 here, and then we'll keep going back to the well. Deuce Lawrence finally will check in for carry here. So got to adjust our mindset as we'll hand it off, and there's nothing but spaces. He's going to make... No way! First carry, maybe showing us why he needs to be in the starting lineup. I was flabbergasted. I lost my ability to commentate there, but it's all right. First touchdown of Season 5 is in the hands of Deuce Lawrence behind a great blocking effort from our offensive line into our wide receiver there, sealing the strong safety to make that touchdown possible. Defense needs some help again. Oh boy, how many times is this going to happen today? It's only 7-0 here as we are in the top of the second quarter. Not really the effort I was hoping to see in game 1, but we are not... Okay, we have really shown that we are a team that kind of comes out slow to start the year as we are getting put in here on a 3rd and 3 opportunity. In Season 1, maybe even Season 2, I would have just said, oh, let's go give our guy... What are we doing? I just had like 4 heart attacks consecutively watching that happen. Briggs Cherry hopped into that like... I can't even describe what he was thinking. I pressed X to slide, and he thought, why don't I just like pile drive into this pile of 3 defenders from San Jose State? What a great idea that is, as Trad Shrakey will pick up a big first down here. Always nice to have a guy with his kind of burst as someone who can also run you over. We'll be called in here for a 4th and 8 field goal with our kicker. Should be pretty automatic at this point in his career, as we will put this one up and through, and we will wait for our next opportunity now. They're going for it on 4th. It's 4th and 3 here as the clock is winding down in the second quarter. Oh man, how is San Jose State moving the ball like this on our defense? I mean, we didn't even get through a few games before we had a absolutely generational collapse from our squad here, as San Jose State is getting deeper and deeper into our territory with 16 seconds on the clock here. The quarterback's going to scramble and get absolutely clobbered by Enrique Warrior. There's that warrior spirit. How's that for a Trojan Warrior? He's our Trojan Warrior on the outside. UTSA Roadrunners are going to kick the ball off now in the second half, I guess. We prevented them from kicking the field goal. That's good for us. So they will get the ball back here, 10-7 in the third. How have we only managed 10 points against San Jose State right now? I can understand our defense struggling. That's fine. Where's our offense gone? Did we forget how to play offense, I guess? As, I mean, we surely haven't forgotten how to run the football, because Chad Dragey's doing plenty of that and doing it at a fantastic clip, as he's not even eclipsed 10 rushes and he's almost at 100 yards here. A 3rd and 7. I might change the play up here. Let's see what we can make happen in the passing game, as George Nijman got a step on his defender, and we are going to drop that in the bucket. Touchdown, Roadrunners. So George Nijman making his presence felt here, finally getting to start there on the outside as a sophomore. He makes his impact known as he gives us a 17-7 lead, and we finally have another moment here on offense. Finally getting a couple more of these in the second half, it would seem, as it's 3rd and 10. We're going to dial up a passing play here as Deuce Lawrence is wide open. We'll drop one off to him, and he's going to make a man miss and score. There's that burst we know him for. And our tiny little dude, Deuce Lawrence. What is up with dudes named Deuce and being kind of small? Is that like a thing? Am I missing out on that? As we are given a 4th and 2 opportunity here. They give us the option to kick the field goal or go for it. You know, we are Dan Campbell up in here. It's time to go for it. And you know what? Why complicate things and throw it when we can just, you know, do a little bit of that, and we lose the football. He runs through him and then loses it. Oh, man. How did he strip the ball as he goes through him here? No way. So that is so funny. So he absolutely lays this guy out, and then he himself gets laid out and fumbles the football. That is sad and also hilarious. Ball security in week 1, apparently an issue. Oh, we're going to have to play a snap on defense because I forgot to fix things here. Oh, they're throwing one. Dude, there's no way. How? There is no way. How does that happen? Well, now we're basically in a defense needs our help moment, because I couldn't intercept that pass despite the fact that I timed it perfectly. So 1st and 10 for him here. They'll drop it off to their receiver. Quarterback's thrown for 250 yards. How? I mean, he just got like 50 of them on that last play, but I mean, what are we talking about here? He's going to hand off on 2nd down, and they'll pick up the 1st. Injury timeout. Yeah, you're faking it, buddy. Get up. Defensive impact not really being felt here. Felt like our defense could at least hold off a 56 overall squad. And if we're not holding off a 56 overall squad, what are we doing against an Alabama or a Texas or Nebraska even? I mean, that Nebraska game I'm less worried about, because I know Nebraska is not necessarily a super powerhouse, but I mean, come on. We're going to be up against it there for like 2 straight games, as it's 3rd and inches for San Jose State. Defense kind of allowing them to nickel and dime us, as once again, they will find a open receiver very short and pick up a big chunk because there's no one in the area. So maybe we should think about some man coverage here, because we're obviously not doing well in zone right now. We'll see how man is handling this play, as we will get off the line quickly on the line, as they're going to get an incompletion this time. Man. Them throwing the ball on defense, I think, is the hardest thing for me to commentate over, because I feel like I have to lock in so hard to not give up something stupid. As the quarterback is going to scramble, I'm trying to send the pressure, and we stop him just short of the goal line. I mean, oh man, we're going to bring the press, really jam them up at the line if they try to throw it, and they're just going to hand off and score. So yeah, I mean, this is the game we're being dealt here in game 1 of UTSA Dynasty. As we'll hop back in on offense, it's 3rd and 7. So probably looking to use the passing game here. Can we find something? I see a wide open Prince Hall. We'll put one on him, expeditiously pick up the first down. I mean, this is embarrassing. If you are the college football playoff committee and you're watching this game, what are you thinking? As we try to close, imagine this headline: UTSA tries to close out game versus San Jose State. I mean, I guess in the real world that might make sense, as this is one of those rare times where my offensive line clobbering someone doesn't get me excited, because brother, can you put your dead body somewhere else? Maybe store your dead body outside of my running lane, because now I get hooked on your literally face first in my dit as I'm trying to get past, literally slobbering my shit as I'm trying to hurdle, and you're just getting deeper in there, brother. You're getting deeper in there. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's full, he's got it to the tip, oh my God. All right, moving the hell on from that situation. It is 2nd and 7 with Deuce Lawrence in the backfield. We'll hand off, he's got space, he's gonna make a man miss. Can he make another? He was about to break that tackle before the backup came in. He is just a little pinball in the machine. Can you make him stop? That is the question. We'll line up under center on 1st and 10. Can pick up a first without scoring, but obviously we're going to just run the man over for a touchdown. So a little redemption there for Chad Draghi after the fumble on one of the possessions previous, and we will walk out of this game 31-19 winners. Very, very concerning game in the first game of the season. I mean, Brees Cherry was fine, not very efficient through the air, but threw 2 touchdowns to no picks. Chad Draghi makes a huge debut here, 16 carries for 126 and a touchdown. He did fumble. Man, so did Deuce Lawrence. Problems holding on to the football today. Maybe I should have just slammed points into ball security in the offseason. Jesus. 5 catches apiece for Prince Hall and Emmett Longo here. George Nijman, 3 catches in that touchdown. Very clutch for us. And then Deuce Lawrence with that big 42-yard touchdown. Very big. And then on the defensive side of the ball, a couple tackles for loss, not too much. And then 2 sacks for Alan Angerer. Once again, how many times have we said his name? And then 2 interceptions today. So we've talked about at length, really, how we've struggled to get interceptions and turnovers in that kind of mode. So getting 2 here today to start the season is encouraging. A lot of things that are a little bit more concerning than encouraging, though. But on to next week. Okay, so the update for recruiting really is that we're kind of just pushing on, keeping on with these guys. The update for how updating the NIL looks is we really made a bump for the guys that we did it for. As you can see, we really moved up there for Clifton Ruggs into his top 5, so I think we can make a push for him. We can make a push here for Brian Hooks as well. Same thing for John Wilcox and Frederick Phillip. And I think for there's a couple of these guys here, like Frederick Phillip, John Wilcox. Oh, I mean, actually, I think that's the offer they expect now. So, I mean, we're fine. I'm fine with that because they, like I said, if it makes them interested, we are happy to do so. And we can continue to up the offer package if things get a little bit bleak in that department. So we will be keeping a watchful eye out. I still think we can give it another week before we need to reassess whether or not we need to up the NIL or not. But now it is time for an away matchup here against Texas State. Another 56 overall team. We'll see how the defense shows up today, and I will catch you in the game. Okay, on the road here against Texas State. Can we get it done today? Can we actually be a dominant-looking football team? That is a great question. Let's hop in and find out. Waste no time, no frills, straight into the action as we are already on defense. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break from the defense as we will line up here as they are in the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Definitely keying in on a pass play here. We'll drop back, definitely looking to get something over the middle. We've got everything kind of blanketed as we bring the heat. Jermaine Santana Diaz, crushing hit that time. And we will take the ball over on offense with our first opportunity here. Big drive, it says, let's go get the score. We'll hand off to Deuce Lawrence, and guess what? He's got space, he's got the edge, and he's gone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Can you dig it? Oh my goodness, the run game has arrived this year apparently. Oh man, imagine this running game with DJ Dugar here this year. Holy cow. It's 3rd and 10 though, Texas State moving the ball with no problem. What is this, man? Can we look like a good football team? Is that allowed maybe? As we'll bring the pressure and the man as we get the interception. I time it horribly, but it don't matter. Player's too good to drop it. As we are off to a fantastic start, is Devon Ruggs, the middle linebacker, pulling in the interception, and we are now in the red zone. We'll hop in on offense happily here, happily hand the ball off to our star running back, Chad Draghi, and he will run through a man and into the end zone. The train's coming. Are you on board or in front? That is the question to be asking yourself all year long as an opponent of the Roadrunners. 3rd and 3 here. Gonna dial up a pass. I think I like that more than a run against this defensive front. We'll look to throw. George Nidgeman open. We'll throw off her back foot and dial one in there. Briggs Cherry with a great throw, and now we are deep in their red zone on 1st down. Perfect time for a pass like that. And on 1st and goal here, should be no secret what we're trying to get done. Another rushing touchdown as we are going to throw the ball to some random dude and give him a kiss. Mwah, for you. As we move forward to our next moment, and we are on offense once again. 3rd and 7 opportunity here. Rain is starting to fall. As we can see, it's starting to pour, actually. We'll send a man in motion, so probably going to have to be cognizant of that, looking to throw here. As I see George Nidgeman open, and we're going to bring in a nice possession catch. That's exactly why you have those big possession guys. You want a guy who can get those balls in contact. As well, I was complaining about this, us not being a dominant or showing here, as it's 35-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Deuce Lawrence will finally get stomped in the backfield on that opportunity. We'll kick the field goal, though, and it is 38-0 here as we have the ball once again. In a 2-minute drill, it would seem. That's what they give us an opportunity to do. Things have been happening so fast, it's been hard to keep up. We're going to hand off to Deuce Lawrence again, and he's got room on the edge. I mean, we don't even need to try making a man miss when he's got that kind of... Let's see if we can dial up an RPO. Get Prince Hall going on the other side, as we're just going to have to hand off. They were covering it pretty well. Pick up the first, though. Let's see if we can get back to the line quick and snap something off that'll catch them off guard. They're kind of not set right now, so... good opportunity to look as I see Emmett Longo wide open. We'll drop one off to him. Can't make the safety miss, though, and we will only settle for a big chunk on a 1st down. On 1st and 10 here with a minute 44 on the clock. Snap, hand off to Draghi. I mean, our offensive line got, like, super mixed up there. I don't know what happened. You'll see here in the replay, they start deciding that they want to go after the other guys. I mean, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, anyway. Back to the game action here. It is first or second and 9 with a minute 30 to go here. We'll probably hand off on second down. I'm comfortable enough to do that as long as my linemen continue to route or try to block this play. Probably a better thing to say there. And 3rd and 7, clock under a minute. I mean, we're up 38-0. Are we really that worried about scoring? As we'll step up, try to scramble. Just nothing developing quick enough there. And it will be 4th and 8 as we'll step in, kick another field goal. Why not? We're up 41-0 before halftime, or maybe you saw nothing. So back on offense here, and we've got a 3rd and 10 moment. We're still up 41-0 here. I mean, why not, right? We've had such a good game. Why not go take an ill-advised shot deep down the field, perhaps? As we'll go give George Nijman a chance. And okay, the window was there. Probably could have timed it a little bit better. We will now have the ball inside the red zone here. I mean, we still got the starters on the field. I mean, fuck Texas State, right? We're not bringing the starters off the field. This is a rivalry game. You thought this was just a game? No, this is life, baby. We give it to you hard and fast. Wait, no. Anyway, 3rd and 1 here. Chad Dragey in the backfield. We're going to look to hand the ball off to him. With that burst that he's got, he can also be just a nice speedy back when we need him to be, and then he can also just run through you. I mean, what a combination really to have. As we'll hand the ball off to him again here. He'll spin off and pick up 2, but nothing really doing on that one. We'll maybe try to get a quick pass going here. We'll change that out to that crosser to a slant. Maybe find Nijman in the middle of the field, as we will do exactly that. Oh, I love when my coach brain starts activating. The neurons are firing, people. Call me old Sheldon, as it's 48-0 here entering the 4th quarter. And bazinga, we'll have an opportunity here inside the red zone. I mean, what a game from our guys here. This is the game we thought we should have had against San Jose State, as Dragey will throw a man off of him and pick up the first. I mean, if our run game can keep up this kind of pace and this kind of quality performance, as both of our runners, I think, are over 100 yards today, as Dragey will find himself some space and a touchdown. I'm not running the score up on purpose. I mean, they just keep giving me opportunities, and our team keeps getting into the red zone. Oh my God, it's 55-0. Are we about to score again? They make it 62-0. Oh my God, someone put them out of their misery. We're shaking booty in their end zone. It's a party for anybody except a Texas State Bobcat fan, as we are hitting the air guitar. We're doing anything we can think of. We're probably running out of celebrations in the book, as it is 62-0. Is Texas State finally going to put some points on the board? They are on the 2-yard line. They will hand off and score. Oh, I'm clapping for them. I'm clapping for them. That is my hands. I promise you it's my hands. As Texas State will take a big chunk out of the lead, right? Big chunk taken, as it's 62-7. We're not scoring. We are not scoring. This is going to be in the thumbnail. All right. In fact, you know what? No, we'll screenshot it after the game. Yeah, it's 69-7 here. And that's going to be your final score in the I-35 showdown. Yeah, it feels bad if you're a Texas State Bobcat fan right now, I'll tell you what. But it feels good for us here, as we'll take a look at the stats. So for our guys today, I think Briggs Cherry had himself a decent game, 19 of 30 for 353 and 3 touchdowns. Oh boy. Chad Dragey, 25 carries for 160. Deuce Lawrence, only 6 for 96. Very effective 96 yards, though, as we have 5 rushing touchdowns total. George Nijman finds himself 2 touchdowns and 121 yards of receiving today, as Nazir Amos had the big touchdown catch for us. He has 3 for 110 and a touchdown. How wild is that? On the defensive side of things, Rain Figueroa found himself 4 tackles for loss today. Go you, brother. And we had 8 sacks? Oh my goodness. We were getting to the quarterback today. Enrique Warrior finds himself 3 on his own, as we will head on to next week now. Yeah, I told you, we like to start out slow and then explode in the next couple weeks. So hopefully here as we head into week 3, we can continue that momentum. Okay, so Big recruiting update for this week is that we are throwing sways at a couple of guys because we really need to get them on a pitch that will be more friendly to the things that we actually have to offer here at UTSA. Hometown hero doesn't do great when our program tradition is a D+, unfortunately. That's what we're doing in recruiting, and now it's the big one. It is a fated, trilogy rematch now against Texas. Can we finally come out on top with the roster we have put together? We are finally better than them on paper. Let's hop in here and see what the result is on the field. Just up the road in Austin, Texas today. And we are going to try to take down the Texas Longhorns today. The Floating Pants holding back the Longhorn as Texas will take the field. Can we pull it off today? As my brain capacity begins to fry with the rest of it, as we will step into the shotgun here with our first opportunity. Deuce Lawrence to pick up a first down. Didn't realize it was a 3rd and 10. Good thing his burst is insane and allows us to get the first there. So already another 3rd down on the same drive. Really struggling to get the ball moving here in hostile territory. Can't blame our offense. But we're going to step up and run here, pick up the first with Briggs Cherry, eat the contact if it means we move the ball. And here early, we find ourselves in Texas's red zone. So we're going to try to keep the ball on the ground. I really don't relish the idea of trying to beat Texas through the air this low to the goal line. But maybe we try to catch them here. They're probably full on committing to the run, so maybe we catch them slipping and complete the RPO. No, they play all over it. Can we get through? Not this time. Oh, boy. 3rd and goal. Oh, they are not playing a very run defensive lineup here, so we'll go ahead and run right at it and score a touchdown to take the lead here early on in SEC territory as we have another opportunity on offense here. 3rd and inches. We are absolutely going to go ahead and hand off to our bruiser. Can he make someone hurt for the first, as he will eat the contact and pick up the first? And we are given another 3rd down here. So Texas's defense not making it easy on us, but our offense is indeed prevailing here as we're going to drop back to pass, and we're going to find Emmett Longo. Maybe no, they do manage to force the ball out here. So 4th and 8 here, and we're not that deep into their territory. We're going to go ahead and try for the field goal here, and that one is up and good. So kicker is fantastic from 50+. Don't ask me about inside of 50+. We're not going to talk about that as Texas safeties us, and the score is 10-2 here as we have another offensive possession. All of a sudden, basketball, as we have an 8-point lead here as we have another opportunity inside the red zone. I'm probably not going to get a audible off without causing something crazy to happen. So we're just going to run the play we were given, and that's why I wanted to audible out. I sensed a cornerback blitz coming. Me and my all-seeing powers just couldn't keep it away. And 2nd and 17 here. Let's not be stupid and make it even harder for us to get a first as... Oh my God, that man just died. Big pickup for Chad Dragey here as he puts a man into his grave. And we'll be left with a short 3rd and 2 here. And we will try to dump something off short here, maybe to Prince Hall. He can't hang on through the contact. 4th and 2 here. I can't tell if the audible went through. I think it did. And we'll get stuffed anyway. I tried to switch down to a run, and we could not make it work. So don't come away with points on that drive. Maybe we regret that later, but we do have the ball back still in the first half. 2-minute warning coming upon us as we will only pick up a yard. 2-minute timeout is here now. Well, I can't avoid passing the ball forever against Texas, right? Gotta eventually start letting the ball rip. But every time we have dropped back so far, it feels like there's nothing there, and that continues to be the case here as we will throw it away. Absolutely nothing visible for us to make work there. And it is 3rd and 9. How do we handle the adversity in this game as we will try to throw one to Nazir Amos? I didn't think he was cutting inside. I thought he was, I thought he was going to end up being, it was going to end up being a like outpost route, but it does not end up being that. It was an in route, and I ended up throwing a very ugly interception, putting Texas in the red zone. Haven't had a throw like that in quite some time, as Texas is going to make good on that turnover immediately, unfortunately. And now we're back into the 2-minute drill opportunity. Like it never happened, except it did, as we'll hand off on first. And Deuce Lawrence has got space, but they've got a plenty fast cornerback there, as he will catch up and bring Deuce Lawrence down. And we've got 1st and 10 here. I mean, they just, like, what are these play suggestions in this situation? Why are we running the ball right now? And 1st and 10 now. We're going to line up, and we're just going to step up and try to scramble, pick up the first stop. Superman diving every time. Dude, please, for the sake of my heart and your health, do not do that. We did call a timeout there, give our players a chance to catch their breath here before 1st and 10. As we will drop back to pass here. We'll find Prince Hall very quickly. Try to make a man miss. Not so much. Only 5 yards that time. We'll line up on 2nd and 5 here. Still looking for the pass on 2nd. And reading the field, there's just nothing there. I mean, Texas has got us blanketed like no one's business. I mean, let me try to read this in post-mortem. I mean, maybe I make this throw to George Nijman. But, like, at this point, the pressure's already here. And I guess I've stepped back too far. And that's the thing, man. I mean, it is not easy being cheesy, as we will maybe take one for Emmett Longo down the field. What was that? I could not time that because the bar just teleported to the other side. Huh? Am I just, like, that tired as what? How was that not? Okay. Okay, things are falling apart here in a quick succession here against Texas, as they're on our 1-yard line now. I'm so confused on, like, so many things there. We took a shot, and that should have been timeable, but it wasn't. We, like, couldn't time it. It just, like, teleported to the right side, and I'm gonna need to go back and when I edit this footage and look at that to make sure I'm not, like, crazy. Because what the fuck, man? Like, Emmett Longo had a step downfield, and he could have caught that ball. I could have timed it up if they didn't, you know, take the timer away from me, as Texas is gonna stuff us on 2 consecutive runs here. I mean, this is not the time for us to stop being able to put points on the board, but we will finally eke our way into the end zone once again. And we have a 17-12 lead as we are getting late in the 3rd now. So 1st and 10 for us as we are deep in Texas territory. Gonna keep trying the passing game. Why not? As we'll let one fly to Emmett Longo, nowhere near. Maybe Briggs Cherry feeling the composure effects here away from home, unfortunately. As on 2nd and 10, we'll look to pass again, and we're just going to have to step up as time is not on our side. Briggs, yeah, of course you're hurt, buddy. What did you expect? You're Superman diving into a dude coming at you full speed. What do you expect? As on 3rd and 2, we're going to get stuffed. Oh, boy. So on 4th and 2, they're going to keep us on the field. Okay. I mean, I really would have been fine kicking the field goal. We're going to try to drop one into Prince Hall quickly, and we will pick up the 1st. And on 1st and goal here, let's get back down to the run game. It hasn't let us down in any of our games so far, as we're going to try to bowl our way into the end zone, as Draghi is able to kind of shake off a couple tackles. And let's just let Briggs Cherry try to run one in. They're not set up to defend this, as he will just run it in. No issue, no coverage. Touchdown Roadrunners. We are up 24-12 here in the 4th. Texas will go down and get a late touchdown, and now they are driving deep in our territory, under 3 minutes to go now. Definitely look like they're setting up to run here on 1st and 10. We'll try to bring some heat, but they're just going to find space as we can't make the tackle, and they're going to score. Oh, okay. And, yep, it's 24-25. They couldn't get the 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. So this is... How many times have we been in this situation? How many times? And we'll drop it off to Prince Hall to start this drive. Prince Hall has been here to see all of it. He's been here to see us lose to Texas twice, as we will look on 2nd and inches for a quick first down. We'll hand off to Deuce Lawrence. He'll find the gap and shoot forward to pick up a nice chunk for us. And we are quickly approaching midfield here, as now we are getting closer and closer to field goal range. We don't necessarily feel the rush to score, as Draghi will pick up yet another big chunk, as Texas will start faking injuries to get timeouts, apparently. And we will continue to not feel the pressure to throw the ball, keep the ball on the ground with our best players here, as Draghi is going to run over a man, pick up another first, and the 2-minute warning is here. Gonna continue to hand the ball off. No reason to be stupid and force a throwdown field to get picked off. And we'll choose some clock here. Can Texas make the stop, as we do pick up 2, and they will use a timeout? I think they're really trying to keep 2 timeout, or at least a timeout in their pocket here. We'll call a pass here on 3rd and 7, but unless I see somebody wide open, we are not letting this ball go, as I don't know who that is. I didn't know who to throw it to. Oh my God, the one button I wanted to see, and it doesn't show it to me. Oh my God, I hate this fucking game, dude. There's 1:14 on the clock, and we've got to kick the field goal because I fucking ran out of bounds. I had no choice because I couldn't think, or... Why can't our kicker kick? Oh my God, what is happening, dude? I put that so far to the left. Dude, what are we talking about? I can't fucking believe this, dude. How does our kicker miss 2 field goals like that? We haven't had a problem away from home with the accuracy. Am I just crazy? How does that happen? Oh my God. I mean, it says Texas lost the game. That's not fucking true. Great, your buggy fucking mess of a game. Lying. I can't believe this, dude. Texas's safety is what wins them the game. Me not kicking the field goal when we were down there late in the game wins them the game. Our fucking kicker missing 2 field goals that I could swear were well aimed. I'm not even going to bother looking at the stats. I truly don't give a shit. Here, I'll show them to you really quickly, but what a fucking fold we had in this game. Almost 200 yards on the ground from our running back. Almost nothing from our quarterback this game. Oh my God, when does it end? When does the torture end? When does our inability to win in these football games end? It should have been this game. We had so many opportunities. We and I shot us in the foot. Okay, so we've spent plenty of time recovering from that game. I'm still not recovered. I probably never will be. How can you be from a 3rd straight heartbreak loss? But we do have our first verbal commitment here, and unfortunately it looks like we're losing in a couple of other commitments. Jesus Christ, dude. When does the torture end? It's the defensive tackle, too. Oh my God, how hard is it for us to just get a defensive fucking tackle in the building? I will be back. Update for recruiting. Things are getting shaky. And I mean, of course they are. For like the 3rd straight year, we are struggling to find a defensive tackle. He's most likely going to TCU unless we can really make something happen in this visit against Charlotte. And we ended up adding a new cornerback prospect as well because we end up losing in that recruitment, and we walk out of the recruitment for the guard we were going after as well, because it's just he's going to end up going on a visit this week to another school that's in the lead for him. Most likely going to end up there. So it is now time for us to walk into our next game and bounce back after a brutal loss against Texas. A loss that shouldn't have happened, and if we're being completely honest, is mostly on me for the decision-making I made down the stretch. But we can't sit here and hark on it forever. We've got to move on into this next game and capitalize on the recruits coming to visit today. Okay, back at home after a rough outing on the road last week. should be the perfect opportunity for us to bounce back here against Charlotte. But can our team do it? We put up a great performance against Texas State in our last game before unfortunately falling short. Today we are already in the red zone to begin, as we are on 2nd and 6 and we are on the 19-yard line. So off to a hot start here early, as we will make a man miss with Deuce Lawrence and get inside the 10. And I'm going to find a way for us to move on from talking about that game as well. We're only going to focus on the rest of the season. The goal still, I think, can very much be getting deep into the college football playoff, although I really do worry about our ability to maybe win a national title. So we do score on our first drive. Charlotte somehow moving the ball with no problem here on their own, as it's 3rd and 7 in our territory, as they'll drop back to pass. Quarterback scrambling. We're going to try to get there with the defense, and they pick it up. That's questionable at best, but what am I going to do about it? As it's 1st and 10 inside of our 15-yard line now, as they will look to the shotgun again. They're going to hand off this time to the running back. Plenty of spaces. Where is our defense as we blow him up across the first down marker? But unfortunately cannot stop them from moving the ball, unfortunately. We are really struggling to do that on defense this year, which is... I mean, what was that? What are we talking about here? As we are getting the ball back here in a tie game, I mean, what are we talking about? We're in a tie game against Charlotte here. I mean, is this the state that our team is in, that we're really just going to be fighting in most of our games still? I can't believe that that's how our program is this deep into the rebuild. As we have a 1st and 10 now, we'll hand off, and I wanted to make him miss so bad that time. I know we talk about not making a man miss with Draghi, but I mean, sometimes in a situation like that where it's probably much easier to make him miss and pick it up, we probably could have had better success. Have to step up and scramble there on 2nd or 1st and 10, so that gives us 2nd and 4 here. No reason not to try a pass here on 2nd, as we'll find Chad Draghi over the middle and try to make something happen. Unfortunately, we're kind of surrounded the moment we pick the ball. 1st and 10 here in their territory on the 33. We're kind of dialing up the pass a lot here, as we're going to try to throw one, and the pressure from Charlotte is coming hard and fast. Yep, I'll take it on the chin. Yep. That gets even worse. I don't know how to stop saying this stuff, man. It's really just second nature, which probably is a problem on its own. But Deuce Lawrence is a problem of his own, as he will hit a huge chunk for us. And now we are down in their red zone on the 15. I mean, once again, what are these play options for us? I mean, there's just nothing, more nothing. Got it. We'll maybe make something out of this play. We'll fake the handoff. Look to the corner of the end zone with Emmett Longo, and we'll come down with it, but we are out of bounds, unfortunately. Maybe I need to get over my fear here of throwing the ball up for our big guys, as we're going to hand off on 2nd down to Deuce Lawrence, who's got the speed to take the edge and get the first down for us. That kind of speed is irreplaceable, but we will happily bring in our other star here on 1st down, who can bruise his way into the end zone. Didn't need to do too much of that time. And we take a 14-7 lead. We're up 21-7, 28-7 now. Okay, I see. We let Charlotte score on their first drive for the plot, and then the rest of the game is ours to have here. I mean, I would say this is automatic, but after our game against Texas last week, I don't know how to feel about our kicking game, as we will put that one up and through. But yeah, I mean, 95 kick accuracy, and we were so far off on 2 clutch field goals in that game. Looks like they're going to throw up a Hail Mary here to end the first half. Don't really care about this. Okay, so we are in the second half now. Score is 38-7. So really handling business here in a big bounce back game. We'll take that kind of performance, I suppose, as Draghi will only pick up 2 here, leaving us with a 3rd and 5. Look to the passing game again. We've had moderate success as we'll try to find Nazir Amos. The safety comes up and clamps that down. Up big in this game. No real rush to take some more touchdowns, so we'll put up another field goal here, and it is 41-7. deep into this game. I mean, all things considered, after a bad game against Texas, a dominant showing in your next show out is probably exactly what you want, but it would be so much nicer if we were talking about this big win after an even bigger win against Texas. But all things considered, we'll take a win, and a pretty dominant one here at that, as it's still not even the fourth quarter, but the game is far and away over, as they are in our red zone here. We're going to try to make some pressure happen with a blitz. Our Cornell Bowie was completely turned around, still made the stop. That's how good he is, as we are going to once again have a defensive moment here. Deep in our territory, they're in the shotgun. Going forward on fourth, can we get the stop? We will see. We're going to drop back in coverage. They're scrambling. Their quarterback's got some wheels. Can we knock it out? No. He's going to hold on to it and pick up the first. And are they going to score? They are just about ready to score, as it is on the 4-yard line here. First or fourth and goal. And I guess they know that we're so up in this game that we really don't need to help our defense out here this late. And we will get a sack from Enrique Warrior. And I mean, that should just about do it here, as the rest of the game will run its course. We walk away from this game with that's definitely not the final score. What is going on with this game? Looking at the player stats here, 12 of 20 for 241 and 3 touchdowns for Briggs Cherry today. Still not having the most efficient passing numbers. And today, Charlotte kind of held us in check here on the ground, as Chad Draghi only has 89 yards, but 3 touchdowns. And then Deuce Lawrence had a couple big runs there, 8 for 72. And then receiving-wise, not really seeing a lot of catches from our guys, but a big game from George Nidgeman, 3 for 107 and a touchdown. And then defensively, tackles for loss-wise, not really producing much of anything. And the same in the sack department. Outside of that last sack, we didn't have any in the game, but we did produce 3 interceptions today. So really starting to see us shine in getting some turnovers. But, man, our pass rush is hurting. And that was, I think, something we had said was notably weakness of our team. Probably could have helped us win that game against Texas, and it would probably help us keep these opponents from driving down the field the way they are right now. But can't do much about that as we head on into the end of this episode, and we will prepare ourselves for next episode, where we will have, we have a hard commitment from Javonte Volk, and that's the only one, which is probably a heartbreaker for us, which means, guys, tight end or defensive tackles, what is it? What is it about our program that defensive tackles fucking hate, dude? Every defensive tackle we try to bring in is just not interested. All right, well, that is a problem for us to fix next episode. This episode was a little bit of pain and misery, unfortunately, in that Texas game, but there's also a lot of positive to take away from this as far as how our offense is performing so far this year. A mixed bag, if you will, as we will end the episode. And if you did enjoy today's episode, please leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe to our channel so we can continue to grow and reach more folks to join in on our fight to win the championship. It is such a battle, apparently. Oh my God, are we ever going to beat a big opponent? That is a question we'll have to answer here against Nebraska this next episode, which I will hope to see you in. Take care.